As a life coach, sooner or later, you're gonna take on the energy or unconsciously absorb the energy from one of your clients. And that energy is going to get stuck in your body or in your personal space and cause you problems. What I wanna do today is I wanna share with you what to do about that energy that's from your client that got into your body or into your personal space. And that's what I'm gonna do for you here today, because I'm Coach Kirk and I care about your coaching business becoming the most incredible coaching program out there, because I want you to be the best coach ever. So we're gonna talk about energy work for life coaches. Now, what is energy? Some people think it's like this weird thing in the air, or they make up this thing, but just imagine this is when you walk into a room, you can feel the energy of the room about the person who's sitting in the room. So somebody's sitting in the room, you walk into the room, you can feel what it's like when that person is in the room. And you could call it their attitude, their mood, whatever word you want to call it, but that attitude or mood came out of their body and filled the space in the room, and you can feel it. It's not just inside of a person's body, it actually comes outside of a person's body. And so the word I'm going to use to describe what that is, that's called energy. And every person has that kind of energy inside them. What they feel and what they think about forms the energy that's inside of them. That energy then can come out of their body and then fill a room and actually go into another person's body. I know it sounds crazy, but just hang in there while I teach you this. So imagine a person. Let's just put a person right here. So imagine a person with a circle around them, and that circle that's around them is their energy or their presence that they carry with them. If somebody was really super negative and critical and judgmental, that circle that's around them is gonna have a heavy feeling or a dark feeling to it because it's of the negative nature or the hurtful nature. Now, if you take that same stick figure and you put a circle around it with a white color or a bright color, you know that that person has good thoughts and good feelings and good intentions. And that now is good energy. When we're working with clients, sometimes clients have a struggle that they're facing in their life, and that struggle can produce some heavy energy. And that energy that they feel inside of them while you're in the appointment with them, that energy can and is coming out of their body. It's like it's radiating out from your client's body. Now, there are life coaches who are empaths who unconsciously absorb that energy from their client. And how does that happen? Well, it's quite crazy how it happens, because an empath wants to help somebody feel better, and subconsciously, one way they go to help somebody feel better is they take on that person's pain, or they take on the energy of that person's problem. Then that empath has that energy now inside their personal space, and sometimes even inside their own body. Now, if it's just a little bit that they absorb, okay, you could probably handle that and move on with life. But if it's a lot, that energy from another person, when it gets into your personal space, it actually will rattle your thinking, like really scramble up your brains. Just when you thought you're being clear, now you're not clear, and it's because you have other people's energy inside your personal space. Now, if the energy from your clients get into your personal space and then get inside your body, it actually can cause you to not feel well because it's of the negative nature, the hurtful or painful nature. And so that energy, when it gets inside of you, can actually make you feel like you're drained of energy, make you feel like you have to sleep longer, or have excessive eating habits because it's not your energy and your body doesn't know what to do with it, because all it knew was help the client by absorbing the energy. So I meet many life coaches who have a very strong empath side, who absorb energy from their clients, and now they are paying the price. They're not sleeping well, they can't think straight, they have difficulties in their relationships, they can't get their tasks done. They feel very apprehensive to add another client to their clientele, and they don't know what's wrong with them. They can't figure out what's wrong. Well, first thing I do is I check in with them. When I say check in, is as a coach, as an intuitive coach that I am, I check in and I see if and feel if they have other people's energy inside their personal space or inside their body. And then I can tell them if they do have this. And then I coach them how to move that energy out so they can get back to being in their own space, in their own energy and their own thoughts. So that way they can function better. So imagine a glass of water. Let's just put a glass of water right here. There's a glass of water. And let's say the glass of water is 3/4 full. So it's 3/4 full glass of water, and that water that's in the glass, we're gonna call that emotion. So the water is emotion or energy inside this glass. Now, let's say you meet with a client, and as you're meeting with the client, their energy that they're radiating, you unconsciously are absorbing that energy. Now we take that energy from your client and we pour it into that cup. So now that cup that was 3/4 full starts to reach up to being full. And then there's so much coming at you that it actually starts to spill over the edge. That is called overwhelmed. When a person is up to here and they can't handle anymore, it's because they are full or overwhelmed. And overwhelmed means there's too much. That's why it's spilling over on the top of the cup. And so what happens to life coaches, and they don't realize it, is that they are taking on other people's energy as a unconscious way to help them. And then that fills up their cup. And now that life coach is experiencing higher levels of feeling overwhelmed, or maybe even being sick more often than they thought, or they can't think, they can't process, because they now are full, not only with their own emotion, but with other people's energy and emotion. So this is a real thing. I've coached coaches all over the country, all over the United States, and I've pointed this out and brought this to their attention. They did not know about it, and they also didn't know what to do with it. So to help you become the best life coach you've ever been, you're going to have a maintenance program here about how to drain or pour off some of this energy you're getting from clients. Now there's many energy release techniques. There's lots of them. I mean, there's dozens and dozens of ways to do this, all kinds of things to do to be able to remove this energy. But first, you needed to know why this is happening to you and how this is happening to you so that you can do something about it. So I want to teach you how to remove the energy that you picked up from your client. Now, got my water bottle right here. And I just told you about a glass being full. How do we empty a cup, right? How do we empty this? Well, the first thing we would do is we'd take that and we'd pour it out, right? So that visual of pouring it out is a really important visual to have as I walk you through some very simple steps of how to pour off or remove that energy that you got from your clients. And so the whole image of pouring it out, you've seen that happen, right? You've taken a cup to the sink or you've seen someone pour. You know that imagery that there is a tilting and then the liquid pours off. And then when you're looking at the cup, it now is less in quantity because you've poured some of the water off. The same thing is gonna happen to your own personal space. Like this could be your personal space and this water is what's around you. And you're gonna pour some of that off and create some opening, some space where your client's energy is not inside your personal space. But that also can be your own body. So this could be your body is a container. And so your body, if you could imagine your body as a container and there's liquid in your body, like energy. It's not just your energy, but it's other people's energy who got in there too. So one of the first steps you want to think about is, okay, think of your client. Okay, think of the client, think of the appointment. So that way your brain can go, okay, what are we doing? Oh, we're thinking of this client and that appointment. Then the next step is we're going to use visual. We're going to use visual and verbal commands to be able to help teach the brain to remove the energy from your body and your personal space about that particular client so you can clear the energy. So you got to identify what client you're going to clear. And if you need to, think about the appointments. That way you can kind of, calibrate who this is and what kind of person this is. And you don't have to know what kind of energy it is, just whose energy it is. And so then now that you're visualizing this person and the energy that they have and how you might have absorbed this, you're gonna think to yourself, I'm now going to release or pour off the energy that I absorbed from that client. So you're talking to your brain what to do. Just like if somebody else were to talk to you on how to tie a shoe. You know how when you were learning how to tie a shoe or ride a bike, you had somebody telling you what to do, and then you then did the action. But you're gonna do this to yourself. You're gonna talk to yourself in your head, identify the client, and let's just pick a client, and then you see the appointment and you realize, wow, I must have absorbed energy from them because they had some pretty wild energy and I bet I absorbed some of that. Now you're telling your brain, that client's energy, I'm ready to let go and remove, pour off, release that energy. And now you see yourself as a container and you pour that energy off and you see that energy pouring out of you. And where does it go? Well, when I do this with my client's energy, I don't just pour their energy on the ground. I have it go up into the sky towards the sun. Now, if you want to see it just pour on the ground so Mother Earth absorbs it, so either Mother Earth or Father Heaven can absorb the energy, so you're not trying to handle that energy. Either way, you can have it go to the sky, you could have it go to the sun, you could have it go to Mother Earth, you could have it go to nature, a rock, a tree, but not back to the person and not on another person or an animal or anything in your home that this energy needs to just be gone somewhere else. And so you identify the person, you use visualization to imagine that now you're gonna pour this off, and then you say to yourself, I choose to release the energy of this client that I absorbed in that appointment, and now I wanna see this go. And so then you can see in your mind pouring that energy off. Now I have had clients who I suggested to them, get a cup of water, and then as you're saying, I choose to release this energy from this client, pour the water out, like on a plant or the grass or somewhere, just pour it out. So you could have a visual of pouring it out and then seeing the empty cup. What you're trying to do here is you're trying to practice telling your brain what to do. Telling it, hey, I don't want to absorb other people's energy, and realizing that even though you have absorbed it, you can do something about it after the fact. So again, if you don't clear this energy, you will be full. And a person who is full of not only just their own emotions, but other people's emotions and their energy tends to be really short and critical and pushy and aggressive and somewhat heavy attitude, even levels of depression and feeling anxious. I mean, so many things happen to a person whose energy is maxed out inside their body, like they're overflowing and it's not good, healthy energy. It's not good for you. It's not good for your kids, your family, your friends, your coworkers, whoever's around you, because they have to deal with the fact that you're overwhelmed and it's just too much. And here's the thing too, is when you're full, you won't add clients. You won't, because there's nowhere for them to fit. You have no more to give them because you are full of other people's energy. So to break it down to the simple steps, what we do is we identify who the client is that we probably got the energy from. Second is to visualize that that energy can leave. It's not stuck, it's not attached to you, and it's not permanent. It's just like water, you can pour it out. Then number 3, you're gonna give the verbal commands of what you want to do with that person's energy and have it removed from your body. And then number 4, if you want a tactile and you want to pour a cup of water out, that would give you that extra exterior visual experience so that you can practice seeing like, oh, this did leave. It did leave. And after I have the client's energy leave my body, leave my personal space, then what I like to say is, with the empty space, please fill it with love and gratitude. That's what I say, because I don't want to just leave that open. I want it to be filled with, powerful energy, so love and gratitude. Or whatever words you want to choose to describe the kind of energy you want to have back in your space. That way, you are designing and managing what kind of energy you have in your body and around your body. Most life coaches don't address this. They don't. They just coach people and they get to this point that they burn out. And why do they burn out? It's because they're maxed out. That's their problem, is they've taken on the energy from other people and they had no simple way to remove that energy. Now, if you're feeling maxed out and you're maxed out, but you have no idea who you got that energy from that's weighing you down and maxing you out. You don't know where it came from. You don't have to know the exact client, but you still can visualize pouring off some of that energy that's not yours. And you can do it to yours too. You can clear other people's energy and your own energy and pour that out so you have room to breathe, room to think. Anytime I get maxed out, I know what it is. My energy's gone up, it's gotten full of like whatever kind of weird energy, and then weird energy from people. And then it gets in and it just totally messes with my whole thinking, my decision making. My intuition just doesn't work as well. And that's scary because it's like your gift in how you coach people, your intuitive gifts that you use to coach people don't function as well. So this is a really big deal. So the main part is to visualize it leaving and then also verbally tell it to leave. You're using visual and verbal and tactile skills to be able to create this scenario of what's happening. Now, what do you do, Kirk, if you didn't feel anything, like nothing changed? Well, just like crashing on your bike, you got to get back on the bike and try it again. So this is a skill. It's not instant pudding. Okay, this is a skill. Instant pudding, you just add a little bit of milk, a little bit of water, stir it, boom, you got it. This is not instant pudding. You've got to actually train your brain to do this. It's a missing piece in the life of a life coach, is the training of the brain of what to do with your client's energy. From this point on, when you're in a coaching appointment and you feel the energy from your client, what you want to do is you want to imagine that energy coming from your client and stopping at the edge of your personal space, that it does not come in. You do not need your client's energy to come into your personal space to be able to be in tune to them. You can read your client with the energy that is just touching the outside of your personal space. Like, let's do a diagram right here. So you got you inside of a circle, your client's inside of a circle. When those two circles are just barely touching, you can be super in tune with that person. Even when they're not touching, you can be super in tune. But you want to retrain your brain that you do not have to have the other person's energy all the way inside your personal space. You don't need that. And you definitely don't need their energy in your body. Somewhere this just gets missed, because we don't teach our kids about energy. We don't understand energy. We just figure it's just some weird woo-woo thing, but it's real because you can feel it in a room with somebody sitting in that room. You can feel the energy and presence of that person. So it's real and it gets into us. And so if you've never heard of this before, this is probably weird to hear it all this way, but I say this to help you to be more healthy as a coach so you can be the best life coach you've ever been. And so that you can remove the energy so that you can perform better. You can do better. You can have more clients. You can not be exhausted at the end of the day. We don't need you getting burnt out, because if you get burnt out, what happens is now you shut down, and we don't want you to shut down. You're a good coach. We need you out there coaching people. But you have to take care of the energy, though, that you feel from your clients. Now, if the way I just shared with you is you're not really good at visual, another way you can do this is you can actually reach into your personal space, grab a hold of the energy, and pull it out and let it go. Maybe that's too weird for you too. I don't know what level your skill is or how far you can go with this with your visualization, but energy is a thing. It's got substance to it. When you feel heavy and down, it's because you got thick, dark energy like in you and blanketing over you. And then when you feel that lift off, you feel like you can stand taller. So it's real. It's got a weight to it. It's got a substance to it. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. It's like gravity. You can't see it, but it's there, right? Air is there, but you can't see it. And when the wind blows, you can feel it, but you can't see it. Energy is the same way. It's something I really think that the more you understand how this works, the more you can better take care of yourself. That's what's so cool about this. And that's why I want to coach you. I want to help you in these places that you probably didn't even think about, didn't even know about this. But to remember this, that the energy you feel from your client that gets into your personal space and gets into your body and then you take home, if you don't unload that in your own way, you'll end up unloading it on your family. And now they have no idea where that came from. No idea. You'll unload it on your kids, you'll unload it on your spouse, you'll unload it on your furniture. And now you got your client's weird energy, their struggle energy, in your family, in your appliances, in your couch, and all your furniture. That does not need to happen. So here's the best tip of all. Clear your client's energy at the end of the appointment. At the end of the appointment, brush yourself off because it's on the edge. It hasn't soaked into your body yet. Just brush it off, like literally like it's dust or something got on you. Brush it off, clear the space, and imagine that your energy is all that's inside your space. That's it. None of your clients. It's all on the outside edge. You can brush off your arms, brush off your hands, brush off your shoulders, your chest, so that nothing sticks and nothing gets in. Keep yourself clean as a coach. You'll perform better, you'll feel better, you'll have the energy, you'll have the intuition, you'll love coaching, you won't burn out, you'll just do so much better. You'll be the best coach ever. So I love it. I'm here for you. More to come to you. So many more principles that I've learned over the last 18 years. Down here at the bottom, there's a link. If you've ever wanted to upgrade your coaching skill and really your intuitive side, I've been coaching and training for 18 years and teaching people how to coach and train for 18 years. I would love to talk to you about a program I have that's very powerful for empaths and life coaches so that you can perform at a higher level. And if you've ever wanted to upgrade and be able to be the best you could ever be, click that link down there below and schedule a call. Would love to talk to you and hear where you're at, share with you what we're doing as a company, and help you upgrade your skills. So love what's going on here. Be sure to watch the next video because I'm sure it's gonna be awesome. And it's all about you and your coaching and becoming the best life coach ever. All right, awesome. Thanks.